Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and this is The Joyful Sojourn, a community of people that love stationery and planning and doing things creatively on paper. Oh man, I didn't change out my Band-Aid. I'm sorry guys. A community of people that love stationery and planning and doing things creatively on paper. If that sounds like your kind of community, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Today's going to be an interesting video because I want to do a lot of things and I'm limited to my daughter's nap time. So we will see how far we get. This might be like a part 1 of 2, or I'll just have to stop at some point and end the video and then do a second video. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to share with you some new stamps from LaylebyMail. This is her February release and she did send it to me. So thank you, Layle, for sending this to me. I'm so excited to play with these. I did swatch them in my swatch book. So we're going to look at the swatches and then we are going to use them along with some other stamps that I have to set up a page or more, depending on how much time I have, in the journal or the notebook I have finally decided to have for my like creative listing stuff for 2026. It has been, I know that we're like already towards the end of February, but it has been a long journey for me. January was really hard. February has been hard. And so I have not done any creative listing in so long. I'm very backlogged on like memory keeping stuff in my daughter's journal. So I'm just really behind and I apologize for not having more creative stuff on my channel. I'm getting there. It's just taking time. And I was looking through my notebook collection and trying to figure out which notebook I wanted to go with for 2026, or if I wanted to continue with the listing notebook that I had for 2025. I've decided to start fresh with a new one simply because I have a lot of notebooks, but also I put in some year-end review pages later in the notebook and in the 2025 notebook. And I want that to be what finishes that notebook, even though there are blank pages in the middle of the notebook, which could drive someone crazy, probably me, but we're going to go with it and just start fresh in 2026. I went with the navy storybook in the A5 size. I actually went back and forth between this one and this one. There is just something that calls to me with the Archer and Olive storybook design. I just want to collect them in every color they ever come out with. I just think they are beautiful. They're beautiful to display. They feel good whenever you open them, like when you're actually using them, and they just make me happy. So I'm actually leaning towards having this one be like my listing book for 2026, and then this one being my daughter's kind of memory keeper for 2026. And that way they're kind of coordinated, and it's in the B6 size. So yeah, I almost went with this one for creative listing, but I think an A5 size is going to be a little bit better. So I know that many have asked for, and I said I was going to provide here are all of my Archer and Olive notebooks I'm using in the new year, like my Archer and Olive stack, or everyone's calling it their ecosystem. I don't know why. That kind of annoys me. It's maybe sounds a little pretentious. My notebook ecosystem. And I haven't filmed that video, and that's because it's taken me a long time to figure out what I'm using, but this is going to be the one for my creative list. I wish this was in a lower page count, like the doorbuster notebooks, but it's not. And so we're just going to try to like fill these pages in 1 year. It's very hard for me to use up a full A5 notebook with the 192 pages, but we're going to try. So enough of the yapping. Let's talk about the new from LaylebyMail. If you're new to my channel, oh, the other notebook I was considering. Well, now we're going into the rabbit hole. This guy. This was in a sub box. It is stunning. And I just keep thinking, like, what do I want to look at for the full year? And I just feel like the navy is neutral. And this is really pretty, but I think the rose gold might be a little too much for me for a full year. So I'm putting this back on display in my office, and I will save that for some other time. So if you're new to my channel, I don't edit my videos. Everything is live in real time. So if you need to speed me up, go ahead and put me in 2x speed. Let's get into the new stamps from LaylebyMail. I do have a discount code for you. So if you are shopping her website, Joyful10 is going to save you 10% off of your purchase. And she sells her own stamps and her own creative kits, like kind of modern scrapbooking kits. So definitely shop her website. And that Joyful 10 discount code is going to work on everything on her website. So not just the LaylebyMail branded items, that Joyful 10 discount code should also work on all of the kind of affiliated brands that she sells on her website and all of her tools, which you guys know I am a huge fan of her, like pencil board, for example. And then I've also, I've got like Distress Oxide inks and stuff from her as well. So definitely save that discount code. It's a multi-use. You can use it multiple times. And that also lets her know that I referred you. So thank you so much for using that code. Okay, let's talk about the new stamps for February 2026. The first one is, and hopefully we're going to focus in all right. First one, there we go, is Tally Numbers. It's an 11-piece set. All of her stamps are photopolymer made in the US. Very excellent quality stamps. And so the photopolymer is the creme de la creme of stamps. So you're going to get a lot of really nice crisp finishes here. So here is Tally Numbers. And we're going to look and see what they look like swatched out. And then I'll also go through my existing stamps to show you if any of them look like any of the others, in case you're curious about what you might have in your collection already. A note about how I swatch my stamps. I remove the acetate cover from the stamps, but I leave them on the acetate that they're sitting on. I ink them up really good, and then I lay the whole piece of acetate down and press down on the stamps. This means that my impressions are not perfect. So keep that in mind when you look at my impressions. They're not going to look great. That's a reflection of my method, not the stamps themselves. Her stamps are fabulous. So I always feel like I have to say that because like some of this not full impression is because of how I inked it. And of course, like me not pushing in the number 6 when I made my impression. So this is Tally Numbers. So this is the first set. And just to go back, let's look at my number section, see if there's any other kind of, these are very sans serif, tall, clean, lean. And there's, at least from what I have, I don't have every stamp she's ever come up with. But I'm going to go ahead and say that there's nothing quite like these ones. A lot of these have a little, a little more flourish to it. Or are more blocky looking. And so, yeah, this is a new kind of unique set to the collection. Again, this is Tally Numbers. So if you're someone that collects all the numbers and alphas, this is an excellent one to have. I also like that it has the number and the number sign, or the hashtag, or the pound sign, depending on how old you are. Next up, let's talk about the In the News 3. I'm very excited to have received this. I am newer. I discovered LaylebyMail maybe spring of last year, April of last year. And the In the News, this is the third one, and she has 3. So this is the third, and I'm not sure I have. Oh, I do. I have In the News 2. Okay, I didn't think I had any of the In the News. So just to compare, by the way, In the News 2 with In the News 3. Lots of little headers and icons. Some script there. Lots of different ways to do In the News. And then over here, is this upside down? It sure is. Just so you can see the comparison. Fonts are different for these bold news, In the News. So this says In the News with these 3 stamps. And then over here, we've got In the News. That's different. Breaking news. Here's the story news. This is our like circle news versus this circle news. So you can see a little bit of the difference there. And really different with the headers here. We've got No Way and Currently, very different from these ones. We do have a No Way, but different font here from more of this bar font. Let me show you what this actually looks like stamped though. And that would be this one. Again, I did a terrible job stamping, but here you can see what in the news looks like. Today's headlines, currently front page news, hashtag newsworthy news, just the facts. This is one giant stamp. Got a TV with breaking news. This is going to be a solid bar, currently in no way. You got a newspaper. If you're maybe reading on your device, highlights, that could be news or not news related. So that is in the news, volume 3. That's the second one there. And then kind of related, but not, is quotes. Okay, so this is called In the Box Quotes, which you could use alongside your news stamp set. Or I added it to the In the Box collection. So we've got In the Box 2, and then here you can see the In the Box quotes. And again, I did not do a great job stamping. So make sure if you do get some ink inside your frame, make sure you wipe that off before you lay your impression down. But like that, we've got 4 different shapes here for our quotes, and then we have some individual quotation marks as well, so you can have them free floating if you want to. So that is In the Box quotes. And then lastly, you guys, I am very excited about these two because this, I think, is going to be a collection. Whenever you see an item name and then a dash and then what it is, I feel like she's setting up categories. So this is called Postage Builder Frames, and Postage Builder Flowers. So we're going to jump over. I actually had a little bit of like spare room here. I spaced it out because I'm anticipating more Postage Builder stamps. So here is Postage Builder Frames, which you can use as functional boxes. You can use them for decorative dating. I like the variety of blank versus solid, just a lot of play there. If you're using a colored ink or you're using a pen, if you want to like color it in. So there is Postage Builder Frames, and then Postage Builder Flowers. And these, I think we're going to test it today, can go inside these. So I'm hoping we have maybe different Postage Builder frame shapes, maybe like a 2 or something. And then Postage Builder, maybe this is flowers. Maybe the next one is people or food and snacks or something. I don't know. But something that will help or be compatible with our frames. But this one's really cute because you've got your 25 cents. And sorry, again, I did not swatch this well, but 25 cents, 50 cents. You got your forever, your little stamp that it's gone through postage. And we've got all different types of florals. I love that most of these are lined florals because that means you can color them in if you want to do colorful stamps. So that, my friends, is everything I received from Layle for her February release. She often has, if not always, has die cuts that go with this. And I almost got the die cuts because eventually I'm going to want to get into using die cuts in my paper play, but I'm still just like not quite there yet. But there's a die cut this month for making like pocket envelopes or like pockets on your, like in your notebooks. There's a die cuts that correspond with the frames, the postage stamp frames. So always check out her website. I'll leave her link in the description box. That is the affiliate link, but that will take you to her new items, and you'll see the die cuts in addition to the stamps that released in this month's collection. And I believe in 2026, she's got a release coming every month. So if you like Layle by Mail products as much as I do, and you want to see the new that is coming out each month, I'm presuming that I will have new release products from her every month to share with you, and we can play with the new things together. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Also, make sure you're subscribed to Layle's channel. I'm sure that if you're watching me, you probably are already subscribed, but she does creative listing, I want to say almost every week, unless she's traveling or she's sick. And she's got a great like email chain going to, not chain, like email announcement for what the lists are that she's going to be making live. So you can basically watch her live on YouTube while she's creative listing. And of course, she's going to have all the details around how products came about, what products are coming, etc. So make sure you're following her. Okay, let's actually start getting into using these things. I grabbed a few additional items for today's, we're not going to do creative listing today. We're actually going to set up just my intro page in this notebook. Pencil board. I grabbed my pencil board in the A5 size. She has two different sizes. Definitely check these out if you haven't already. They are, like, I'd say in my top 5 tools related to stamping is a LaylebyMail pencil board. And I hope that she comes out with the B5 size. This was her original size, which fits her like traveler's notebook size. And I was like, girl, we need an A5. She comes out with an A5. And so I'm hoping that if she hears me and I say, girl, we need a B5, that she will come out with a B5. So pencil board, chamois, or not chamois, absorber. I have baby wipes in case this guy is not wet. And then I did grab some additional stamps, texture stamps. Love so much. This was in the January release. These are her ink, or not ink, her spatter stamps, textures, the ink spatter. Y'all get voiceover Elizabeth for 1 minute in this video because my phone stopped filming 3 times. And then with this one little clip, it is blurry. I'm out of focus. So all I'm doing is splitting up the page and gluing the bottom and the left side, and this creates a pocket. I highly recommend doing this. If you don't know what to do with that awkward page, just glue it down and make a pocket. Hindsight's 2020. If you want to do some decorative elements in here, like coming out from the pocket, that would have been something you should do maybe before you glued this guy down, but I did not think about that until just now. So, okay, we're going to leave this for now. What I wanted to do was, I do this a lot, so we're not breaking any new ground here, but if you're new, you probably haven't seen me do this. But I like doing numbers vertically going down with some decorative elements, and then I basically kiss cut that, and I can replicate it on this side as well. And then I just have this, I guess you could call it a Dutch door, but all it is a decorative situation here. And then I get into the actual listing. So I don't know. I like a couple of like intro pages of just fun deco. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to grab my larger pencil board, and I want to use the postage stamps, and I want to use the new numbers. And I think what's going to be best for now is doing, I'm going to do the numbers first. Yeah, I think I want to do the numbers first. So I'm going to do them in black because I always think black looks great with color. It makes colors pop. So we're going to grab, my goodness, I'm just making a mess here. So we're going to stamp out 2026. I could, yeah, I mean, these ones are small. So let's use the new, and you always want to right fit your stamp block, your stamp to your stamp block. Not too big, not too small. That one, almost too small. So let's go with this one. Yep, that's gonna be a good size. So we're gonna do 2026, and I'm gonna pop it in a little bit so that I've got a little bit of edge here to cut. So, and I'm going to put it, do I want it centered? I think I want to do it centered. In my head, I'm envisioning postage stamps around the 2026. What's tricky about that is covering up the 2026. So when I stamp the stamps on top of it, the postage stamp. You guys, I am so frustrated. My phone storage is full. So I just took, I did all this and then noticed my phone stopped recording again. So I'm very sorry that you guys missed me stamping out the 2026, but I stamped out the 2026 and I did it wonky and I overlapped it just because I kind of like the way that they look cascading down. Didn't do anything fancy here. I used the VersaFine ink pad. And again, these are the Italia numbers. So I'm very sorry, you guys. I'm all out of sorts. But that is what I did when my camera was not recording. But you guys are going to see the most important part, I think, which is going to be how I do the postage stamp cascading situation. So what I was saying, I think at some point, hopefully it got caught on camera, but what I want to do is have the postage stamps running all along here. And I don't want to lose the, I don't want to lose the 2026. So I have two different options here. I can try to use washi tape, kind of like a mask, to cover up the 2026 and then do my postage stamps kind of freely going down and then lift up the washi, so that basically like painter's tape, so that basically all the ink gets deposited on the paper that's exposed. Or I have not done this before, so we're going to try this together. I want to try stamping also something I hope that you heard me on camera say, the contour ink. I have not tried stamping contour ink on top of the VersaFine ink, so I hope you guys don't mind playing with me. Always keep your scraps when you're cutting Dutch doors or cutting paper off of your notebook, because this is a great testing situation here. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, I just put these numbers away, but we're going to play for a second. And before I do anything directly on my notebook, I want to see how it's going to look and if it's going to work. So I'm going to grab my number 2 again and my block. This is a different block. Oh, goodness. I'm all out of sorts. I'm several weeks behind on filming, hence this video coming out after Layle dropped these items. I think these items have been out for a week. That's how behind I am. But what I want to test here, and I should have done this on my own, but I'm going to stamp a 2 with the VersaFine. I'm going to use this clear stamp cleaner since it's sitting here. Rub it on that stamp and just blot with a paper towel. Let's take one of the postage stamps, which I've already swatched with black ink, so there might be some residual. But what I want to do is see what would happen if I put a postage stamp with the contour ink over the VersaFine ink. The VersaFine ink is a pigment ink. The contour ink is a hybrid. I'm not an ink expert, so some of you might know what it's a hybrid of. I think it's a mix of pigment and dye. But what we're going to do is take the contour ink. I always take my ink to my stamp, ink it up, and I want to see what happens if we stamp over it. I think we can do it. Now, this had residual, probably some residual black on it. So I'm going to clean this really good from my original swatching. And I need to clean this guy as well. So let's wipe this off very thoroughly, because I can tell there's some black mixed in to that. Try to get it really dry. Let's do this one more time on the lower part of the two. And see how we're looking. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, my thought with this was if I use the contour ink with the different postage stamps, and then let's play here. We use the flowers. I can find, let's just test this out here. Use this flower guy. I'm going to use this again, so I don't need to worry about it being too clean. Set that down. I'm going to get a smaller block. Use the contour ink again with the flower. Normally I just use black ink, but I like the idea of being able to color in. Oop, a little wobbly there. So see how you can make your own little stamp? Look how cool that looks. So, do I want to do that? I think so. I want to try the solid postage stamp frame. Or do I do the black, you guys? I'm kind of tempted to do the black. This is where editing would help my video, since I'm feeling indecisive. Hopefully you guys are doing something fun right now whilst watching me. I want to see how gray the contour ink looks in the solid frame option. That could work. And then it's really like underneath. Let me see what it looks like over the two. It can go over the two just fine. So then it looks like it's right behind it. We're going to do it. We're going to do the contour ink with all of the postage stamps. And then we will do some coloring. And I think I might do a mix of the solid ones and the framed, the outlined ones. So since this guy is on here already, I'm going to go right here. So let's ink it up. This does come in a full size. I have the full size. I just haven't opened it yet because I had this one as a sample. So let's keep using the sample until it's all dried out. And I'm going to do a lot of postage stamps. So I'm going to do one right here. And we're going to change out the sizes too. I'm not going to have the postage stamps overlapping, because then I would need to do that painter's tape kind of masking style. And I've lost a lot of time fiddling with my phone with filming today, so we're not going to deal with that. Let's use the let's do a smaller one that is hollow. Okay, use this one. Making sure there's no extra ink there from when I swatched. And I'm gonna ink it up. I'm gonna do this guy right here. Because I'm going to be kiss cutting just the smallest edge, I don't want to go too far off on this side. So we're going to keep them overlapping or to the left of the numbers. And we're going to keep changing them out too. I actually think I could probably do this one again. Up at the top. And I'm going to do them wonky like this. Left, right, going all the way down. So that guy is going that way. So this guy is going to go this way, and it's going to go off the page. Like that. This will be fun to color. I hope I have time to color this before I have to call it a video. We've got a vertical solid, so I want to do a horizontal solid next, and we're going to go with one that's a little bit smaller. So just keep, that's what's great about sets like this. So you have how many pieces on the frame? The Postage Builder frames, where's the packaging? You have 8 frames, but you can create so many different looks just based on whether or not you orient it horizontally or portrait, landscape or portrait mode. This one, so we've got that way. Oh wait, we've got that way, that way, that way, that way. I'm gonna go right here. And I'm gonna take up a little bit more space so I don't have to do so many detailed pieces. So let's go with, I'm gonna do 2 more of the larger ones, I think. And we want a lined frame now. Did I just grab the lined one? Uh-oh, I think I'm mixing them up. I think I mixed them up. Oh boy, I think this is the lined one. Make sure you put your stamps back on the right spot. So you don't do that. You don't mix them up. Okay, so I'm gonna ink this guy up. I've missed stamping. Don't get me wrong, I love playing with stickers, like cutting and using my tweezers and stuff. But stamping is so much fun too. Okay. This one, I want to go here. Press firmly, don't rock it. If you can stand over it, even better. Perfect, I'm glad that was the right one. And I think the last stamp, normally I like to overlap boxes and stuff. So I kind of miss that these postage stamps aren't doing this, but this is going to be cleaner for cutting. So we're going to be okay with it for now. And then I want to do one more. I think we got to do this guy right here. Solid and squared. And then we for sure, although completely unrelated to stamps, postage stamps, we're going to do some splatter at the very end of this because I always love a good splatter moment. Go right there. Like so. Doesn't look like much. Give it a chance. and be thinking about ways you can use these postage frames in your projects. So again, this is the vibe we got there, and I can color in. So now, I think we should zoom in a bit. Should we zoom in? There we go. Because we're gonna get to doing some detailed stampage with these guys. So I wanna add some, I might not do florals in all of them. I could. The square's pretty small, so I feel like I'd have to do just like the 50-cent. Do a flower there. We're making this up as we go, guys. I'm just gonna do a mix and see how things work. So flower 1. Now I want this to look like it's actually on the stamp, which means I'm gonna center it, even though it's going to be partially hidden by the 2 right there. I think that's just fine. And that's going to be the same for, I could just do the 50-cent one. No, I'm going to do this guy. This looks like it was meant to be in the square. Cute. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Oh, I love it. That is a vibe. Okay. I think we should do something tall in one of the tall ones, along with the 50 cents or the 25 cents. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love that so much. Okay, do we want to do forever? Or I think we do 25 cents because I think it looks cool. Or 50 cents, excuse me. You guys see me okay? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cute. Honestly, in this soft gray, it's pretty just as it is without adding color, but we're going to add color because color is nice. I do think we should add, we're going to do the forever stamp for sure. I want another big one. Maybe that one. I feel like this should fit because it is one of the largest frames, but this floral looks quite large. I'm going to stand up for this one. It fits perfectly. Oh, you guys. These are so pretty. Okay, we definitely need a forever. Will forever fit in this lowest guy, or will I have to try to get it to fit? I think I have to get it to fit here. Yes, it's going to be cut off, but I'll know that it says forever. And just curious. Nope, it's not going to fit in the smallest. Oh my goodness, this is very satisfying. These kind of plug and play stamps where you've got these individual components and you can customize it however you want is so satisfying. It is so fun because then, I mean, they're multi-use, but also, you know, everyone's projects are going to look different because you interpret the stamps differently. How fun. She's got another builder series that I think calling it Builder Something Builder is so smart because it really is. You're building different elements. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Let's add the 25-cent stamp on the stamp that is at the very top. We're not going to have a lot of room to see a flower, but I do think we have room for a 25 cents. Yes, yes, yes. All right, just so I can kind of see what we're working with here, I'm going to cut this. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to add color. I'm going to have to call it a video, but what I will do is we'll add some splatter. We're going to cut this. We're going to add some splatter. And then I will probably do a reel over on Instagram. I'm going to add a little wavy guy here. I'll add a reel. I'll film a reel on Instagram. Or, of course, take pictures so that you can see the final product with color. Because I know you guys are only getting a partial project today. I'm really sorry about the technical issues. I'm doing my best. There we go. Love it. And even just having that there, just one spot where it's a finished stamp is so satisfying. I want to do pretty straight edges, even though postage stamps have these like curves. So all I'm doing is using my craft knife to cut. I'm doing rounded edges, but I'm not following the scallops of the postage stamps. Ta-da! Round that edge just a little bit. And this one too. This A6 cutting board, or excuse me, A5 cutting board, this is from June 6, which I think I got from Journal Say online. But you can just look for A5 size cutting mats. I'm sure you can find them anywhere. But I'll leave Journal Say link down below too. I think I have a discount code for them. Now, if I wanted to get super fancy, do I want to cut out the O? Like where there isn't a postage stamp? I kind of do. I wasn't planning on doing this. But then I would need to do it for the 6 as well. I'm going to do it. I don't know why. I just feel like cutting this space out too. Ooh. Let's see how that looks. I kind of like it. like it. And because of that, we're going to follow the shape of the 6 a little bit better. And there's part of the 6 here that does not have postage stamp on it. I haven't gotten to that kind of detail cutting with this craft knife, this Archer and Olive craft knife. That pivoted quite nicely. I like that. A little bit more. Okay, so what that's done is we've got some little peekaboos here that we can play with underneath. Not quite sure what I want to do with that. To be fair, I do not know. I could also mirror what I've done here on this side with my 2, my 0, etc. Like I can do the 2026 on the other side. I don't have time for that today, so we're not doing that today. But I need to think about whether or not I want to continue this. And I think this ink you see here, I don't think that's bleeding because that doesn't even match where I stamped. Okay, and there you can see the back side. Okay, but it is more ghosty. I will say that. The, what is this? The contour ink, the hybrid ink looks a little more ghosty on this paper. I think it would be fun to add splatter. And then I also want to add something underneath here. And what I should have done, now that I think of it, is run postage stamps along here. So it's still, I mean, it might be soft enough to lift it. No, it's definitely down. Let me think about this for a second. If I stick this in here, I probably could do it. Ooh, last minute decision, guys. This is what happens. I think this is dry. So I'm going to put this here so I can see a little bit better. I think we're going to do it. And I need to make sure that I can cut up at the top. Okay, none of this makes sense. I know I'm not making sense. Bear with me here. I'm creating as I go, clearly. I'm going to do the postage stamps just like this on my pocket. Grab a stabilizing notebook. If you're at the start of a notebook, put another notebook underneath it. So remember, I'm using that scrap paper to be a bit of a buffer. We're going to do the same thing going all the way across, going wonky with postage stamp frames. I want to go lower. Yep. I would say 9.75 out of 10 times I end up just posting a video, even if I don't like the outcome. Something would have to be pretty not cool, like not okay for me to decide to scrap a video that I've already filmed, because that would be a supreme waste of time. So this must have been good enough by my standards to post. I think we should do one up here. That way I can leave this just as it is. Right there. Like that. I think that works. Okay, so again, doesn't look like much, but let's do the cut and add our florals. This one. Gosh, that's so cute. Come on, like, these are adorable. So I love that. She should do an animals one. Postage builder animals. Let's do forever on this one, going this way, just to change it up a little bit. think this is supposed to be an upright flower, but bending the rules a little bit. Thanks for hanging in with me, guys. This choppy video all over the place. I love that. That is such a cute one. Throw that guy back in for a little bit of a buffer. What part of the stamp I want on there? Probably the flower. So there. Nice. I'm gonna trim here. Okay. Oh boy, this makes me nervous. Now I know I need a cutting board that is narrower, but I think I can get this corner piece in here. The corner of the cutting board. We did it, you guys. We did it. Oh, praise God. I'm like holding my breath here. So see, we still have our little pocket. She's cute. She is very cute. Now, I don't know if I want to do anything up here. Certainly won't be doing that in this video, but what I did with my list decks is I used a like notepad page. So we'll just take this one from the Valentine's Day box. Just curious if this would stop. Well, that's adorable. So this is the notepad from the Valentine's Day box. And honestly, if I wanted to, this has the florals up at the top, but if I wanted to do like a solid color, maybe it's like a craft page. I don't know, the red could look really cool though. Here you can see that color much better. Just flip it this way so we have the rounded edge. And then I can have my index for my lists on this or on this. Doesn't really matter. If I don't want the roses showing, I could go this way. I kind of like the lines actually. It breaks up the dot grid a bit. And then I could glue the rest of this down or just leave it open. Okay, so very happy with that. We obviously have some I've got this wide washi that I could, oh, I mean, that's cool. If I do the black and white script washi and then I color these postage stamps in, I think that could look really nice. So I'm going to do that just to finish up this video and have it set me off right for when I'm doing all of my coloring. But I'm going to just lay this guy. I also have, hold on, the same script washi in gray, but I think that's going to be a little bit too washed out. I think I need some black to help balance the bold of this black ink. So I'm just going to lay this guy down right here. These wide washi are so great. This is Wintertime Crafts. That's where I got this. And it's such an easy way to like finish a Dutch door situation where you're like, I don't know what to do underneath. That looks very pretty. And I'm very happy with it. And it'll be easy to kind of soften this edge too once I start adding stickers and stuff. Now, again, what I want to highlight here is that the contour ink is going to allow me to basically use this like line art and color it in like a coloring book. So that's what I'm going to do with my postage stamps. You easily could use different colored inks and have different colored frames, and you could you know, use different inks for your florals and stuff. I kept it super neutral because I want to color these in with pen. So make sure you're following me over on Instagram, where I will show the final version of this where I've colored in the florals. And it's going to take me some time to figure out what colors I think are going to be a good match for, I don't know, like what color themes I want to go with for this 2-page spread. And it's going to be very coordinated. So I'm going to use the same few pens on the stamps here as the stamps here. I want to add black spatter because I think that's going to help make because we don't have outlines for our postage stamps, all we have that's black is the 2026 and the washi that I just laid down. And I think that having some ink on here, black ink, will help connect it. And I'll just make sure it's kind of on the peripheral so it doesn't get in the way of any colors that I'm going to put inside the postage stamps. So we're going to rock and roll, you guys. We're just going to like go for it. Full on black spatter. This was in the January release from Laylebymail. I am a big fan of spatter stamps. If you don't have a set already, or you have one and you'd like another, 10 out of 10 recommend these ones. Let's just do it. Okay, this is gonna add just an edginess to these pretty kind of florals. Now, the orientation is gonna matter here. I wanna fill in space well, and I think I wanna go this way. Not cover up too much of the stamp, postage stamp, where we're gonna be adding our pen. I love it. I should have inked that more. I might go back through with a pen and fill it in. But I love that black. It's gonna look so cool when there's color on the postage stamps. So let me do a couple more. I'm gonna do, that one's super aggressive. So let's just do a smaller little guy. Maybe here. And then I am decided we're gonna do some black spatter on the 2026 page. I want this one to go off the page, I think. Ta-da! Dude, that is so cool. Man, if I wanted to keep this just this black and gray, I could, but my gut is telling me that for a creative listing book, I do want to open it up and see color in these intro pages. I do one right here. It always comes together in the end, doesn't it, friends? I always say you guys are always on a journey when you watch my videos, because you never know, like, is it gonna work? Which is not on purpose, but certainly just is kind of fun and reminds me of Bob Ross, my hero. I love, 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 love watching Bob Ross. There's something so peaceful about it. And I love, you guys, when he's painted this beautiful backdrop and then he starts cutting into it horizontally for some ground or something. And I turn to my husband like, he ruined it. Bob ruined it. What is he doing? And then he brings it together and it's like he did it again. Happy accident, happy little accident. Always ends up looking so lovely. I love the idea of happy accidents. I want to live a life of happy accidents. They're going to happen anyways, so how can we make the best of them? And I'm just finding the longer that I film my process on YouTube, the more and more I am much like Bob, where I know some of you guys are like, no! And then it comes together in the end, doesn't it, guys? We make it through. All right. I am going to finish this video. We're going to call it good and done. there are finishing elements I need to do to set up this notebook, but this all looks normal. And then you turn the page, you've got a pocket here where, again, just so you can see it a little bit more easily, I can put my list decks, my list of lists in this notebook. I'm going to pop it in here. So I've got a nice little pocket. I can color this if I want to. I will. And then I've just got a fun random, I always like to do creative things on these initial pages because they're a little awkward. But I got a 2026 here. I did my postage stamps. On the other side, I'll probably replicate the 2026 here just to finish this edge. And then whatever I want to do with this, I don't know, maybe I'll do more postage stamps along here. Who knows? Probably stickers though, is my guess. And then when I turn the page, I will get into my lists. Creative lists are a great way to document your life without feeling like you have to write full on paragraphs. You just list it out. Here are 10 things that I love about who I am, or 10 things I love about my husband, or my favorite foods to eat in the summer. It's just a way to document concisely with words, but maybe have a little bit more fun with the creative play part. And that's what this notebook is going to be for in 2026. So we've got the bones. We've got some good bones going. And again, make sure you're following me over on Instagram. My handle is The Joyful Sojourn. That is where I will always share my once I've completed a list, or at least finished decorating it. If I didn't get to complete it on camera, I try to be really good about showing it over on Instagram. So follow me there. If you want to hang out with me again, I sure hope that you do. I'm an ambassador for Archer and Olive, so I get to share new Archer and Olive products. I use Archer and Olive notebooks, and I use a ton of different planners. I am a planner girl through and through. So if you like planner content, decorative planning content, and a creative listing content, and you like Layle by Mail, this is a really good place to be. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel. And remember the code JOYFUL10. That's going to help you. It's going to save you 10% off over at Layle by Mail. It'll also save you 10% at Archer and Olive. The postage builder stamps, the flowers, the frames, the Talia numbers, which we used here, and then the two other stamp sets I did not use in today's video, but will get used soon, the In the Box quotes and the In the News volume 3, or number 3. These are also available on the Layle by Mail website now as well. All right, friends, until next time, God bless you. God bless you and keep you. Do something creative today, and I'll see you in my next video.